This program is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware, your helpful hardware store.
If this year's midterm elections had any lessons to offer voters, La Plata County Clerk Tiffany Parker sums it up into one.
Every single vote matters.
And that became quite apparent with two close La Plata County races and a Bayfield tax question this year. In one of the more contentious local races, Democratic incumbent Allison Eichley retained her seat as treasurer against Republican challenger Colton Black by a slim 143-vote margin. A tax question that would have increased revenues for the Pine River Library District in eastern La Plata County lost in a recount by only 9 votes. And even more telling was the race between Republican incumbent Brad Blake and Democratic challenger Clyde Church for the La Plata County Commissioner seat representing District 1. Blake went into the post-election cure period ahead by 47 votes. But after a recount and tally of provisional and military ballots, Church eventually won the race by a razor-thin margin of 23 votes. The cure period is the 8-day period following the official close of balloting that gives voters an opportunity to fix mistakes on their ballots. For example, if you forgot to sign your ballot envelope, you had an opportunity to come into the clerk's office to make it official and countable with your signature. The cure period also gives the clerk and her team of bipartisan election judges time to authenticate provisional ballots and to count military ballots that were cast by 7 p.m. on Election Day but didn't arrive at the clerk's office until several days later. Parker said the clerk's office received 39 provisional ballots and all were found to be legitimate. In addition, ballots on which voters may have changed their vote from one candidate to another had to be reviewed by a bipartisan team of election judges who had to rule on the final cast vote.
People think Election Day it should be over with, but we need that cure period. We need to make sure that every single ballot that possibly can count that's eligible is counted. So that's what that 8-day period is for.
Parker noted that an audit of election ballots showed no discrepancies and that election officials were 100% accurate in their count. This year's recounts were the first for a La Plata County election since 2011. And this year's midterm election experienced a strong turnout with 63% of active and inactive voters casting ballots. 76% of all active voters in La Plata County turned up at the polls this year. If you'd like to know more details about this year's midterm elections, visit the clerk's website at laplatacountyclerk.org.